you ever get caught by your mom or stepdad
No.
experimenting?
No, I've had full-blown conversations with my mom, lit, and she had no idea. I thought for sure she knew, but nah, she never called me out or anything. There used to be this place twice a year. It was called Rainbow Valley. If anybody's from Washington and around my age and you went to that, it was fucking epic. It used to be this just huge fucking weekend-long festival before festivals were a fucking thing. And it was just in the middle of nowhere, middle of fucking nowhere. And it was just, all you would do was just drugs. And nobody sold anything, you would just trade. You would trade this for that and this and that. And you would just fucking trip balls and just have a blast for the weekend. I remember all the kids from all the surrounding areas, like Rainbow Valley this weekend, like, psh, we're there. And that was like my first introduction to like really getting loose.
Is there any substance you've tried that you later regretted?
I mean, I've tried it all, bro, but fucking it's not, you know, yeah, all of it, bro. All of it's no good. Like, I mean, I smoke heavy weed and shit. I'll do some mushrooms. I think mushrooms are good for the soul. I even think acid, if you haven't tried it or you're thinking about it, or even mushrooms, like, I think that it does something to your soul that every human needs to just kind of take, to let that shit open you up and let you, you know, kind of see your potential or your purpose in life. So I'm all down for that, and for me personally.
Rewinding back to Yelm and Quick, do you and Quick ever start a crew of your own?
I didn't. He did. He started, like, because he knew about it. So he's like, oh, we're going to start whatever. I think our first ones were CLB or CIA and just shit we made up.
You remember what that stood for? CLB?
Crazy Local Bombers for CLB. CIA, I think he stole from Subway Art. I think he just saw it in there and was like, oh, you know, it's shit like that, bro. Like teenage shit, not knowing anything.
During this high school era, how is everyone dressing? Baggy pants, shaved heads?
Well, all that. So, like, being in a small town in Washington already was like behind back then as far as like fashion. So anything that, you know, kind of was from California would make its way up to the Northwest eventually. But for me, like, I would come down to California and visit my dad during the summer and shit like that, or come visit my grandma. So I would see and then go hang with my brother. My brother would come visit. So I'd see what he was rocking and what people were wearing, and then I'd go and bring that with. But yeah, it was fucking, you know, same shit. Jinkos, cut-off pants with the fray, big as fuck, baggy as shit. And there was a store in Olympia called Rainy Day Records. I would go get my mom and me pants that were fucking, you know, that big around the fucking legs, and that was it. Airwalks and fucking Etnies and Simple Shoes, like just shit like that. Fucked, I think had just came out. Drawers, shit like that. How
would you and your friends get your supplies in those days? Your painting, or your markers?
I mean, when I was young, we would just rack them. It wasn't called racking, we would just steal them. And I really, like I said, graffiti didn't come for me till a little bit later. So, but I was always into, like I said, I was always into gear because of my brother. So I always knew I had to be fresh. So, like, we didn't have bread, so I just became a good thief when I was young. Probably, like I said, maybe 14, all the way through. Like, I was always dressed fresh. And we would just go to the mall and just come up. So that's how we got our shit.
You mentioned Yelm, a really small town. Does word quickly spread that you're tagging everywhere? Do you get caught up in...
I mean, yeah, just within the kids, and like all the kids knew, you know what I'm saying? As far as like adults or whatever, no, they probably just saw like, you know, there's more fucking spray paint on the walls in the town, like what the fuck's going on? But yeah, it didn't take very long, bro. Small town shit. I got arrested and busted probably, I don't know, not even 3 months in. Like, I was young, and like I said, the other homies got caught. And then I'm assuming they told, because before they went and talked to them, they didn't know nothing, and then afterwards, they're on their way to my house. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, fuck. So I think I was 14 or 15. The cops actually called my house and were like, we're going to come take you to juvenile hall if you don't tell us this shit. And I was just like freaking out, because in my room, I had all had all my shit, fucking walls were tagged, all that shit. So I ran out to the fucking garage, pull a bunch of dirt bike fucking banners and posters and shit down, and I just start covering my room up with all the shit. So by the time the cops get there, my whole room's covered in banners. They can't see any graffiti. And I was just scared because they put me in handcuffs. They're like, you're going to juvenile hall. I was like, fuck, I'm 14. My mom's freaking out. I'm freaking out. And I was like, well, they're like, well, if you tell us what you did, you're not going to fucking, we won't take you. You know what I was like, all right. And I was like, I admitted to one of the pictures they showed me. I was like, I did that one. It wasn't even me. But I was like, I did that one. They're like, all right, you're fucking whatever. So they booked me. They didn't take me to juvenile hall, but I had to go to court. I got fucking probation, all that bullshit. I had to pay a gang of fines. That shit was whack.
What do they charge you with ultimately?
Just 594 vandalism. And then I think that had a pivotal point for me as far as like realizing the cops are liars. I didn't have to tell them shit. They didn't have shit. They just had what obviously somebody said. But if I would have known, hey, shut the fuck up, fuck off, it would have been different. But I felt like they tricked me. I know that that's their tactic. But I was young. I didn't have my mom right there. I know that it's small town shit. You couldn't get away with that shit now. But I was by myself and they're interrogating me and I'm just like, oh shit, I did that one. So I think by them realizing that they tricked me kind of just set me like, okay, I see how the world works.